Hello everybody, I am Bets Golden. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be creating two cute little ornaments that can be placed as name tags or even on a tree. This is a sublimation technique and everything I'm using, with the exception of the stamps, can be found at Artistry, and I will provide that link for you down below. And if you use that link, I believe if you use BETZ, BETZ 10, you get 10% off of your whole order. So make sure that you use that code if you decide to do any of this. I am working on a silicone mat. This is a heat-proof silicone mat, so if you wanted to go ahead and use a household iron on it, you could. It really helps the sublimation sublimate. First thing I do is I take a regular piece of copy paper and I go ahead and trace that ornament. The pencil will not transfer to the ornament when I do my sublimation. I could even use stripe paper and it wouldn't even matter. So today I am actually going to use the Artistry markers to just create a beautiful background. I'm not actually using them directly on my paper. Scribbling them out there. These are water reactive, so if you spray them with water, they will blend, which is really fun. I also have noticed that when I layer them, when I color them, they don't mix and create mud, so they still hold like their integrity. So it's really interesting. So I'm giving that a really good mist, and since I'm using copy paper, it is going to saturate it. And the great thing about this ink is that once I dip my paper in it and I do get it saturated with that color, I can actually dry it with my little heated tool, and it does not cause the color to fade or anything like that. In fact, you don't even know how, like, the strength of your color, the saturation of your color, the vibrancy or the brightness of your color is until after you sublimate it. So right here, I am just heat setting this, and I'm realizing, I think I want to put a little bit more color here and there. And so I go ahead and I just work this technique until I get it to the placing that I like. I kind of build the color, as you can see what I do right here. Unfortunately, this stamp is no longer available. I got it through Close to My Heart, but I still love to use it on occasion, and I love the silhouette. I'm just inking this up with some Artist Spray black ink, the ink pad, and I'm lining it up. I'm not really worried if it's too perfect or not. I didn't stay in the lines when I created this background, and that's okay because it's not going to transfer anywhere I don't want it to transfer because of the type of tape I'm going to use. So once I get that all lined up and ready to go, I take my blank, I put it on, and then I use the heat resistant tape. I love this tape because once it gets set, and I heat set it at 400 degrees for 90 seconds. So using a not heat resistant tape can cause it to get sticky and kind of gross. And this actually allows it to stay in place so that I can transfer the whole thing, and it removes beautifully. I am using some silicone paper that is also through Artist Spray. I'm going to sandwich it between the substrate as well as the art that's on top, and line it up. And then I had heat set it on my press for 90 seconds. If you are using an iron, you're going to want to do it for 3 minutes and make sure that you just tape around those edges. And like I said, that color comes through really vibrant. This is a metal ornament, so it's super hot, so be really, really careful when handling it. It's still a little bit warm. I'm a bit anxious, and so I'm probably handling it a little bit too soon, but one is done. So for this one, I'm going to do a different technique, same type ornament here. I'm going to go ahead and outline it once again, and then once I get the outline done, I'm actually going to do some shading with my ink pad and a little sponge tip applicator. This is a really fun way to create a really nice image. And actually, I forgot, I actually am using my markers. I wanted a background with some color, and so I just popped some down on my silicone mat with my sponge tip applicator and picked it up and just kind of blended it through. But you can also do this with your ink pad. I am going to obviously use the ink pad when I stamp my image, but right now I'm just doing a really basic background for this ornament. Once again, unfortunately, this stamp is no longer available. It is through Close to My Heart. And I'm just going in and adding a little bit of color to the baby Jesus. What you want to keep in mind is sublimation only works, obviously, with sublimation ink. And so having the right tools is super important. And these markers, again, are through Artist Spray, and they really sublimate beautiful. And sublimation basically is when you take and you turn this into a gas under pressure and you force it into another substrate, so it causes the art to last as long as your substrate does. It doesn't wash off or anything. And you're going to see that when I take this off of my heat press, I actually add some water and rub on it and nothing moves, and that's the beauty of it. This is also a really great technique to do with kids. Since you are just using basic copy paper or any cheap paper, really, if they mess up on their artwork, it's no big deal. You did not ruin an expensive substrate. You're just out literally a piece of paper and their time. However, if it turns out to be awesome, you can go ahead and preserve that memory forever on something like this kind of blank. They also have metal blanks that are like 5x7 pieces that you can use as a picture. You can pop it onto a mug. You can put it on a t-shirt. As long as there is at least an 80% polyester coating on it or blend, it will pretty much substrate to anything. If you want to use an iron, make sure that the iron doesn't have any holes in it. If it does, just be prepared to move that iron around a couple of times by picking it up and pressing it for 3 minutes. You don't actually want to iron it. If you have a press, this is super easy. 400 degrees for 90 seconds, and it is good to go. Just be very, very careful when handling your substrate after it comes out from the heating press, no matter what you do with that. If I was going to put this with an iron, I do want to make sure that I tape down all those edges so I will not be left with a ghost image. However, since I am using the press, I just have to make sure that I tape it down secure in a couple spots and we are good to go. The silicone paper is crucial. That is what actually takes and captures the gas, the image, and it forces it into the substrate. It keeps the heat nice and hot right where it needs to be. So this is definitely the best way to use it. I like to fold it over and create like a pocket, and I want to just make sure that it goes with my art on top so the heat is pressing on that, and then boom, there we go. And it is so hot right now. I'm having a hard time handling it, and I actually spray water on it to cool it down, but as you see, it will make it so that it does not move around. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Make sure you check out Artistry in the link I provided in the description box. Until next time, I'm Beth Skolden. Happy crafting.